Hi everybody, this is Paul Gerard. I'm a student loan consultant working with the American Dental Education Association, ADEA. This repayment module is on the Public Service Loan Forgiveness Program known as PSLF, and the repayment module is designed to help you know whether or not PSLF should be part of your repayment strategy after you graduate from dental school and enter repayment on your federal student loans. The Public Service Loan Forgiveness Program was actually passed into law back in 2007, and it was designed to encourage borrowers to enter and stay in the nonprofit or public sector for at least 10 years with a promise by the federal government to forgive whatever remaining loans they had at that time absolutely tax-free. Folks, it's very important to note that PSLF is not degree specific. It's available to any borrower with any degree who can meet the eligibility requirements, and that most certainly includes dental school graduates. It's also very important to note that the forgiveness amount under the Public Service Loan Forgiveness Program is not subject to income tax. That simply means that for borrowers who qualify, they do not have to claim the forgivable amount on their tax return as taxable income. That's one of the many benefits of this program. Now, in order to qualify for the Public Service Loan Forgiveness Program, three things have to happen, and I cannot emphasize this enough. These things have to happen at the same time in order for you to qualify for forgiveness under the Public Service Loan Forgiveness Program. One way to think about this is think about a clock that has to tick 120 times, and each one of these things has to be happening for that clock to move forward. You have to make 120 timely scheduled payments with an eligible repayment plan like pay-as-you-earn or repay. A little bit more detail on this. If you hear about PSLF as a 10-year program, that's the 120 payments they're talking about. The payments do not have to be consecutive, but you cannot shorten or advance the time period when you would qualify for PSLF. So it's 120 timely scheduled payments. Voluntary payments don't count. They have to be regularly scheduled payments. And when we say an eligible plan like pay or repay, we simply mean an income-driven repayment plan. So 120 timely scheduled payments with an eligible repayment plan like pay or repay. The payments have to be on federal direct loans. Only direct loans qualify for forgiveness under the Public Service Loan Forgiveness Program. The word direct simply means that the loan came straight from the federal government. If you look in your student loan portfolio, many of you have nothing more other than direct unsubsidized and direct plus loans. As hopefully you know from the federal consolidation module, if you have any non-direct federal loans, you can consolidate them into the direct loan program, and therefore their balance would become eligible for PSLF, assuming you meet the eligibility requirements. So 120 timely scheduled payments with an income plan, an eligible plan like pay or repay, on federal direct loans. Number three, while you are working full-time for an eligible PSLF employer. That's a nonprofit 501c3 organization. So those are the three requirements, and again, these things have to be happening at the same time. Now, we get the question a lot about how to apply for the Public Service Loan Forgiveness Program. Folks, you don't actually apply for PSLF until you've made all 120 of your eligible payments. But there's a way that you can enroll or participate in the program. Number one, be sure all of your loans are in the direct loan program. That's really pretty easy to do. The federal government took over all the lending of federal loans in the 2010-11 academic year. So once again, if you look at your student loan portfolio, there's a pretty good chance that everything you've borrowed while you've been in dental school is a direct loan. So be sure all your loans are in the direct loan program. Then start making payments with an income-driven repayment plan. We have several modules on IDRs. In all likelihood, you'll be repaying with either pay-as-you-earn known as pay or revised pay-as-you-earn known as repay. So get all your loans in the direct loan program, start making payments with an income plan, And look at number 3. You are not required to do this, but we strongly encourage you to submit every year what's called the Public Service Loan Forgiveness Employment Certification Form, or ECF. And this form goes to Fed Loan Servicing regardless of who your loan servicer is. Fed Loan Servicing is the only loan servicer under contract with the U.S. Department of Education who runs this program to do 2 things. Number 1, Fed Loan Servicing will confirm that where you're working is an eligible nonprofit employer. And if that's the case, they will take over the servicing of your loans if they do not already have them. In other words, if they're not already your loan servicer, they will contact you and take over the servicing of your loans, and you'll actually make payments to Fed Loan Servicing because they will track your payments toward PSLF for you. So again, even though the employment certification form is not required, it is a great way to be sure that where you're working does qualify and that Fed Loan Servicing is tracking your payments for you. And once again, you actually apply for PSLF after you've made all of your payments. Now we want to show you some forgiveness estimates under the Public Service Loan Forgiveness Program, and you'll very quickly see why this program is of such interest to a number of borrowers who are graduating from dental school and other schools as well. In this case, we're going to use an assumption of $280,000 in total student loan debt. By the way, that's the median for indebted borrowers in the class of 2017 at dental schools around the country. And of that, we're going to assume $162,000 is coming in the direct unsubsidized loan program and the remainder with Direct Plus or Grad Plus. We're also going to assume that this borrower does not do a residency program like a GPR, and they're going to go straight into a practice making $160,000. For the income plan, and we're using revised pay-as-you-earn in this example, for the income plan, we're going to assume the borrower is single with a family size of 1, and the calculator we use, the AAMC ADEA Dental Loan Organizer and Calculator, known as DLOC, we're going to assume with this that there are no changes to the marital status and the family size of 1 over the course of repayment. In this particular example, over a 10-year period of time, 120 payments, this borrower would pay just over $164,000 out of pocket over the 10-year period of time. But look at the staggering amount that is still left after 10 years to be repaid. That's the amount, over $338,000, that would be forgiven tax-free under the Public Service Loan Forgiveness Program. So it's easy to see why a highly indebted borrower would be interested in this program. We strongly encourage you to use the AAMC ADEA DLOC to run your own potential forgiveness numbers under PSLF. Now, a few comments on PSLF as we wind down this short module. PSLF may be of interest to you if you are considering a career in academic dentistry or some other nonprofit type of employment, because this could be a huge benefit to you in helping you to be debt-free after that 10-year period of time that we discussed on the previous slide. If you are going to be doing a residency program, whether it's a 1-year GPR, perhaps a 2-year pediatric residency, or some other residency for advanced dental education, consider preserving the option for using PSLF if you are going to do a hospital-based residency, because in all likelihood, the teaching hospital where you're doing your residency will be a nonprofit. Now, that's not a guarantee, but most of the teaching hospitals are nonprofits. And that simply means if you go ahead and start making payments with an income plan while you're doing a hospital-based residency program, your payments are likely going to be very low, and that would bode well toward a larger forgiveness amount for you if after your training you go into a nonprofit career. Remember also that a repayment strategy that is tied or based to PSLF is inconsistent with aggressive repayment. In other words, even if you could afford to pay a little bit more than the amount that's required under an income plan, if you're trying to qualify for and maximize the forgiveness amount under PSLF, it doesn't make a lot of sense to aggressively pay on your debt because you would be paying down the potential forgiveness amount. Also, number 4, look at that last bullet. There is a proposal to eliminate the Public Service Loan Forgiveness Program We're recording this again in January of 2018. This is simply a proposal at this point. The thinking is that if PSLF is eliminated, it would likely only impact first-time borrowers, but we encourage you to stay in touch with ADEA, perhaps your financial aid office at your dental school, to be sure you're up to date on any changes to the Public Service Loan Forgiveness Program. Finally, there's some great resources to help you with information on the Public Service Loan Forgiveness Program and to help you know whether or not it should be part of your repayment strategy. We've already mentioned the AAMC ADEA Dental Loan Organizer and Calculator, known as DLOC. This will help provide you with forgiveness estimates based on your own portfolio and your own career plans. And at studentaid.ed.gov/public service, you'll find more information on PSLF, including the online employment certification form that we discussed and highly recommend that you do if you're interested in the Public Service Loan Forgiveness Program. We hope the information in this module will help you know more about the Public Service Loan Forgiveness Program and perhaps help you know whether or not PSLF should be part of your repayment strategy as you graduate from dental school and enter repayment. On behalf of the American Dental Education Association, ADEA, best wishes for every success in your dental career.